Hey guys, how's it going? This is Solo Black Dude here, and I'm going to be bringing you a Yu-Gi-Oh match from someone you may know very well on YouTube. He's actually known by the name of TheFlamingSpade. He was on Skype and I saw his status message that he wanted a Yu-Gi-Oh match. I decided to PM him and say that I would accept the challenge. He accepted, and yeah, this is how the match went. So going into the team preview, he has his Hippowdon, so already by the lead position he has a Sandstorm team going on, and that is accompanied by the name of Stoutland. Funnily enough, from the cinematic intro, that N was actually beside the Moniton, which is actually in my lead spot. And yeah, I also do have the Fire, Water, Grass core. I also have a physically defensive Drapion and especially defensive Deoxys, which will help me very well in this team. But yeah, let's see how this match goes. So, yeah, he's going to lead it with his Hippowdon, probably just to get the sand up really quickly as I go into the Moniton. And by the nickname, you would know that, you know, reality hits you hard, bro. So anyway, I'm actually not going to go for the U-turn because, I mean, I guess it'll be right to go for U-turn, but, you know, just, in the odd case that he might think I'm scarfed, I could potentially not be scarfed. You know, he never knows. I'm not going to give him any information as of yet. And besides, even if I did go for the U-turn, it wouldn't do that much damage anyways. So I'm going to directly switch into my Shaman as opposed to U-turning into it. I'm going to go for the Sea Flare. He switches into his Rose Ray just to resist it for ×2. Thankfully, I do get the special defense drop. You know, it's a -2 special defense drop because Sea Flare has a 4% chance of doing so. And it's the only move that actually has properties of doing that in such a way. Anyway, I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Ice as opposed to Hidden Power Fire, because Hidden Power Fire would be more useful in OU. But seeing as I see a lot of ground types in UU, I figured, you know, Hidden Power Ice might be the best. Hidden Power Eve is super effective. I'm able to take him out in one shot thanks to the special defense drop and the Life Orb boosted power. So anyway, he goes into his Stoutland. I was kind of fearing the Retaliate in case he has it, because most Stoutlands usually do that off the bat on switching out. But he goes for the Pursuit. Nice play, he predicts my switch there. Thankfully I do live it, which means I can use that for Death for the later, or if I have any use for it. Gonna go into my Drapion. It has the Battle Armor ability, which means I'm not going to be taking any critical hits, so nothing from this hit is going to, you know, go somewhere stupid, you know, in his favour in case I get crit or anything like that. Gonna go for a Toxic Spikes. One layer of Toxic Spikes is actually going to help me quite a lot in this game, as you'll see right here, because he does take me up with the return on the second hit. I was hoping to live this, but you know, you'll see later in this match, like I said before again, that one layer of Toxic Spikes is actually going to be more helpful. So gonna go into my champ. I'm a champ that does a lot of work in this game. So predicting this Dynamic Punch, he's gonna go into his Sableye. He gets poisoned by the layer of Toxic Spikes. I'm actually gonna go for the Substitute, predicting that, which actually puts me in a very good position, because you're gonna see that this Sableye does indeed get a bit trolled over this Machamp itself. So let's see after all these after-turn effects. Right, so he's gonna go for a he's gonna go for a Torment, isn't he? Yeah, he's gonna go for a Torment, and this actually poses a bit of a problem to me because I can't use the same moves as, you know, I can't use the same moves twice. That's what Torment does. It prevents me from using the same moves twice. So I'll go for a Payback. It does about half, which tells me he's probably physically weak and especially defensive, which is what I meant to say in the first place, but hey, got it in the end. So normal poison's actually starting to help, because, you know, he doesn't actually stay in long with his Pokemon, which means that poison damage would actually help more in, say, if it was badly poisoned, it will take about 3 turns to rack up to what normal poison would do, so, you know, it kind of works. Gonna go for the Ice Punch because I can't use Payback twice because of the Torment, and now here, he's probably thinking that I'm gonna go for the Payback, so he's gonna switch into a Pokemon which is gonna be able to sponge the hit, such as his Hippowdon, which he does switch into on this turn. And yeah, I'm going a bit ahead of myself, going a bit too fast. Anyway, he goes into his Pardon. I'm going to predict the switch, go for a Dynamic Punch as opposed to another Payback, and yeah, I do predict correctly. And he does take a bit more damage, you know, it being stab and all, and the fact that he gets confused as well, which is actually going to screw him up in this exchange, as you will see in a few seconds. So despite the Torment, I'm actually able to go for the moves that I actually want to go for. In this case, the Ice Punch, which I'm going to go for right about now. So yeah, go for the Ice Punch. Does a pretty decent chunk because it being super effective and has the same base power as the Dynamo Punch, which I don't have to worry about. He does try to go for a Roar, that I would believe, but unfortunately he does attack himself, which means he won't be able to do anything other than the fact he accepts rocks on the first turn. So this Hippowdon pretty much got screwed. And of course the normal poison, as opposed to the badly being poison, you know, toxic, anyhow you want to call it, is actually going to help me quite a bit. Go for a Dynamo Punch and that is going to take him out. I can't go for Ice Punch because of Torment, and Payback trying to predict whatever would be too risky, and the base power would actually be what, 3 times as weak as the Dynamo Punch. So yeah, take him out with the Dynamo Punch, and that's that's Hippowdon being gone. So goes into his Zimmerl. He's gonna go for the Aqua Jet, you know, it being priority stab, and he's probably Bandit as well. I'm actually gonna go for another Substitute, just because I can rack up some Sandstorm and Poison Recoil, because you know him being Sap the Sand himself is actually gonna hurt him a bit more than he hurt me because he's poisoned. So he is gonna go for another Aqua Jet, I believe, and yeah, that's gonna be enough to take up my sub. And now here, what move did I go for? I went for a Substitute. Yeah, Substitute just to reset my moves, just because of the Torment. So that means I can use any move from this point after the Substitute. And I decided to go for the Payback. Not really a good move. I could have went for a Dynamic Punch, but I was expecting his Sableye to come in on that predicted move. However, I do get a crit, which is kind of unfortunate for him because he does fall down to Toxic, well, Poison in this case, not Toxic because there's only one layer. And he goes down. So now here's the Pokemon that kind of gave me a bit of problems, because Alakazam, I mean, due to his Dream World ability, I don't know what the heck it's gonna be. I know the common set is usually Life Orb, well, the common item is usually Life Orb, but I don't know. I took a risk here going into Dominton thinking he was not Scarfed, which he actually wasn't, but I was not really certain. I was not 100% certain at this point, so I'll go for U-turn. But him switching out into a Sableye here kind of gives me the just that he isn't Scarfed, because otherwise he would have stayed in and probably went for the Side Shock, trying to hopefully KO me. But anyway, back into this scenario. He is in his Sableye, he's weak on health. I have my Suicune. He knows his Suicune obviously because I faced him before. I faced him in OU and he beat me. So this is a kind of a revenge kind of match, you know, just to get at him. He goes for a Taunt, probably thinking that I might go for a Calm Mind. You know, he's seen his Suicune before, so he knows what I do. Gonna go for a Surf. Switched up the moves from Scald to Surf because you know, I'm using Toxic Spike, so there's no real point trying to get a Scald or anything else, because I can't get a burn because I can't stack statuses on another status. So he goes into his Alakazam. He goes for the Energy Ball. Wasn't exactly expecting that, but I guess, you know. Not really sure if he specs or his Expert Belt, even though Expert Belt is kind of pointless because you have Life Orb, and due to the Magic Guard ability, you'll be taking more recoil. So I was kind of under the impression he was either Max Attack and Scarfed, Max Special Attack and Scarfed, or Max Speed and Specs. So I'm going to go into my Astronaut, aka my Deoxys defense. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball, which confirms that he's not actually Scarfed or choiced in any of that matter. So I'm going to go for the Recover just to get up to max HP. And then I realize here that I made a bad play. What I should have done is, if I'd actually, you know, if I'd known he was properly not Scarfed, then I would have went into my Dominton first. But seeing as I know that he's not Scarfed, I can now safely assume that he's not, because he isn't. Go into my Shaman as Death Order, as he goes for another Shadow Ball and takes me out. Now, here, after Shaman faints to a Shadow Ball, I can go into my Dominaton, go for a U-turn or a Flare Blitz. In this case, I was actually going to go for the Flare Blitz. But he decides to forfeit this match at this point because he realizes that if I was to go for a Flare Blitz, I'll take out his Alakazam, then his Stoutland will come in and go for a Retaliate. With his speed being boosted by the Sand, which means I'll be left with my Deoxys speed, he would have been taking Recoil from the Life Orb and Poison as well, and then he would have hit me with a Retaliate. I would have lived the hit, went for a Assassin Toss, and with that move plus Recoil from Life Orb and the Poison damage, he would have been taken out by that point and I would have won 1-0. So that's pretty much how, you know, that's my Pheromone guess of it. So anyway, that was a very good match. TheFlamingSpade, go check him out. I'm sure you'll like his content. And yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll get back to you guys with many of my uploads. See you guys later. Peace.